New York City's finally undergoing a massive architectural revolution. New York has always been world famous for its iconic skyline, which includes Art Decos like the Chrysler Building and Empire State Building, and revolutionary designs like the World Trade Center. While all these structures have their place in history, a new generation of skyscrapers is threatening to overshadow them in the not-so-distant future. Here are 6 skyscrapers that'll completely transform the look and feel of NY. Number 1. 270 Park Avenue. It's a 1,388-foot tall skyscraper under construction in Midtown Manhattan in New York City. This state-of-the-art building will serve as the new headquarters of J.P. Morgan, the largest bank in the U.S. 270 Park Avenue will replace the old HQ Union Carbide building that served as the company's headquarters since the 1980s. In 2018, it was announced that the former Union Carbide building would be demolished to build a tower twice as tall. The new building will span up to 60 stories and will provide space for 14,000 employees. It's designed by Foster Plus Partners, the firm behind legendary structures like the Hearst Tower, London City Hall, and Apple Park. There are 24 massive columns at the base, which will support a lobby measuring about 80 feet high. The lifted base will create more outdoor space on the ground level on Park and Madison Avenues, which the studio plans to complement with a public plaza and green spaces. To secure approvals for the tower, the New York City Council dictated J.P. Morgan to spend $40 million for improving the district's condition and building a 10,000-square-foot public plaza in front of the tower. This will give Park and Madison Avenues 2.5 times as much ground-level outdoor space. It'll include enlarged walkways equipped with natural vegetation and services for neighborhood residents, workers, and regular guests. Talking about the overall design, the tower consists of several vertical columns of differing lengths pressed together to form a step structure. The interior will feature 2.5 million square feet of working space along with a food hall, a penthouse conference center, and a fitness center. All this will come at a hefty price tag of $3 billion. The outstanding thing about this building is that it's going to run entirely on hydroelectricity. This makes it the biggest all-electric tower in New York, combined with the fact that it'll have zero net emissions. Foster Plus Partners claimed that 97% of the building materials were recycled during construction. Over 3 years, more than 93,600 tons of U.S.-made and fabricated steel, 93% of which is recycled. The old building was demolished between 2019 and 2022, making it the tallest building to be voluntarily demolished. The previous record was held by the Singer Building, one of the earliest skyscrapers in Manhattan that was later demolished in 1968. To build such a large building, J.P. Morgan had to purchase hundreds of thousands of square feet of air rights from the nearby St. Bart's Church and MSD Capitol. Initially, 270 Avenue was supposed to be even taller, with a planned height of 1,400 feet. However, such a length requires deeper foundations that could interfere with the Grand Central Terminal that's directly beneath the tower and the East Side access tunnels. By late September 2023, construction had reached the 4th of the 5 tiers. The steel skeleton of the tower is complete, and the last beam was placed in November 2023. The whole project slated for completion in 2025. Until the tower is finished, J.P. Morgan and its employees are using 383 Madison Avenue as temporary office space. During the building period alone, the project will create more than 8,000 construction jobs across 40 local unions. The tower's construction injected $2.6 billion into New York City's economy. However, the design of the new headquarters is not without its share of criticism, particularly about its base columns. Architectural critic Alexandra Lang described the building as a son of Hearst Tower grafted on top of creepy legs, while others drew comparisons between the base columns to that of the ballerina's toes. But that's just their opinion, isn't it? We'd love to hear yours in the comments section. Number 2. Commodore Tower on 175 Park Avenue. This tower's design is limited to paper only, but if realized, it can be the 3rd tallest building in New York City after the World Trade Center and Affirmation Tower. Towering up to 1,575 feet, 175 Park Avenue will be a super tall neighbor of the Grand Central Terminal. It's intended to replace the Grand Hyatt Hotel owned by former President Donald Trump. The 26-story Grand Hyatt is 290 feet tall, but its successor will be grander, offering 2.2 million square feet of space for office, a new 500-room hotel, retail, and 25,000 square feet of publicly accessible terraces. As far as the design's concerned, it'll have a tapered shape that'll be set back in 4 tiers. This tapered design's a nod to the old skyscrapers in New York, and it'll allow more light to reach the street. Glass and steel columns will run parallel on the outer skin of the tower, encasing its stone-clad core. At the base and the very top, these same columns will crisscross each other to form a beautiful lattice pattern. The elevated public plaza along the eastern side of the property can be accessed by an outdoor staircase along East 42nd Street. The main lobby will feature a soaring atrium guarded by the triangular glass facade, allowing unobstructed views of Lexington Avenue and East 42nd Street. Notice how the huge steel framework over the lobby resembles a giant metallic hand trying to swallow the building. Proposed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, or SOM, the new tower is set to solve the congestion on the pavement and build a clear path between 175 Park Avenue and the nearby Grand Central Terminal. In return for building this behemoth, the developers will spend hundreds of millions of dollars on new transportation infrastructure, including improvements to Grand Central Terminal, a new subway entrance on 42nd Street, and other public realm improvements. An additional $5 million would be set aside for local nonprofit organizations and promoting art in the area. 175 Park Avenue will be located adjacent to the iconic Chrysler Building, which will no doubt be overwhelmed by the scale of the new skyscraper. The Chrysler's building is just over 1,000 feet tall and gracefully reminiscent of New York's past. While the silhouette of both buildings is similar, the Chrysler Building's slim and needle-like proportions give it an air of elegance unknown to the new generation of skyscrapers. To be fair to the new skyscrapers, they're made bulky as the prospective tenants demand larger floor plans to accommodate office, retail, and wellness facilities. Not to mention that New York remains the blue-eyed boy for many startups, businesses, and talented professionals. So the demand for spacious and cutting-edge high-rise developments isn't going away anytime soon. Moreover, the 2017 Midtown East Zoning Initiative also encouraged bulky structures like the One Vanderbilt, 270 Park Avenue, which we just discussed, and the future 350 Park Avenue to come into existence. For the tower to truly absorb its surroundings, it'll incorporate elements from its surroundings. For example, the skyscraper's use of stone and visual symmetry echoes the vibe of the Grand Central Terminal Station. One of the challenges of this mega project is that it sits directly over some of the subway lines of the Grand Central Station. That's why the demolition process has to be carried out carefully, in addition to improving the layout of the underground train station. 3 new public terraces offering seating, food, and drink options will be built around the skyscraper, accessed via staircases and escalators. One of them, called the Chrysler Terrace, will allow visitors to have Instagram-worthy pictures of the vintage Chrysler Building. The developers RXR Realty and TF Cornerstone acquired the site in 2019. In late 2021, the project gained approval from the New York City Council. However, the initial height of 1,642 feet has slashed to the current 1,575 feet. Nevertheless, it's still enough to surpass Central Park Tower in New York. It's expected the construction will commence in 2026 and will be completed by either 2029 or 2030. Number 3. Tower 5th. This is another proposed tower at Midtown Manhattan. The developer, Harry Macklowe, first revealed plans for this 1,556-foot tall tower in 2019. This means that it'll only be a few feet shorter than 175 Park Avenue, crowning it as the 4th tallest building in New York. Its proposed location is directly north of St. Patrick's Cathedral, wedged between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue. Gensler is the design architect for the building. Harry Macklowe finalized the $44 million purchase of this particular site in 2019. The tower will enclose 960,000 square feet of office space, as well as shops, a food hall, and an auditorium. At the top of the tower, the city's highest observatory will offer unprecedented views, as well as unique experimental, cultural, and entertainment experiences. On the ground floor, there will be an 85-foot lobby that will secure the life-size view of St. Patrick's Cathedral. There's nothing out of the ordinary about the outside appearance of the tower, except the narrow pedestal on which it stands. The pedestal rises nearly 400 feet above the street, higher than the spires in the nearby cathedral. The very top of the skyscraper reminds us of the wooden Jenga tower. What do you think it resembles? Give your opinion in the comments. Okay, so the reason it looks like this is it'll have a sky lobby on the 40th floor. Its observation deck, called the Sky of the Americas, will sit 1,451 feet high, making it the highest such attraction in the United States and the second highest in North America. Each floor offers 19,800 gross square feet of space without any column and a line of windows, much like the fenestration of 432 Park Avenue. A restaurant sandwiched between the upper blocks will be encased by floor-to-ceiling glass. Imagine eating your lunch at such a height with a whole skyline of New York in front of you. A nerve-wracking experience for sure. Other features include a retail and food market in the cellar levels, an atrium that spans the whole height, expansive seating areas, and a 3-story auditorium. The tower itself will be wrapped in an energy-efficient closed-cavity facade system to reduce solar heat gain by over 70%. It'll be the first deployment of this type of system in North America. The next part isn't for the faint-hearted. There will be a protruding glass plate, almost like the skywalk at Grand Canyon. Two small buildings, one of them being the Venezuelan consulate, will be demolished to free up space for the tower. But let's keep in mind, securing approval for this mega project would be a lengthy struggle. Its proximity to 5 landmark buildings, including Rockefeller Center and St. Patrick's Cathedral, will bring Maklow's project into clash with the Landmarks Preservation Commission. Additionally, if the project's to go forward, Maklow would have to transfer air rights from St. Patrick's. Since Tower 5th is planned to be 66% larger than current zoning allows, Maklow will require special permits, zoning approvals, and zoning changes to execute the project. If the project gets the green light, it'll no doubt refine the skyline of the city. Number 4. 15 Penn Plaza. This is a planned office tower to be constructed by Vornado Realty Trust on 7th Avenue between 32nd and 33rd Streets in Midtown Manhattan. It'll be a 57-story skyscraper, reaching up to an incredible length of 1,270 feet. Designed by Foster Plus Partners, it'll yield 2.7 million square feet of office space and stand as the centerpiece of the 7.4 million square foot Penn District Master Plan. This redevelopment aims to transform and revitalize the area between 6th and 7th Avenues and West 32nd and West 34th Streets with a total of 8 new buildings. In a nutshell, the overall appearance of the tower makes it look like a chest of drawers. But if you start to look closer, that's truly where you can admire its grandeur. The latest renderings show 9 cantilevering volumes topped with landscape terraces on the western elevation. The northern face is lined with steel beams and metal paneling, with 3 vertical window columns. The rendering also showcases the tower's relative height to that of the Empire State Building. 15 Penn's top tenants have the advantage of a 360-degree view of Lower Manhattan's skyline in New York Harbor. The lobby's futuristic design fits a skyscraper of the 21st century. The lobby's high ceiling is enclosed by an equally tall glass frame overlooking the street. It looks even more majestic at night as the light from the inside shines on the outside pavement. The main lobby is as spacious as a shopping mall with 4 escalators to facilitate people's movement. The updated design shows a different version of the tower's crown. The old design consists of an extension covered with horizontal metal grills. The new version replaces glass with metal, so you'll see rectangular glass boxes stacked on top of each other. The extensive use of glass gives a very sophisticated energy to Penn 15 and makes it appear lighter and hence less bulky. Penn 15 will be divided into 5 tiers that encompass several office floors that would be serviced by its own set of express elevators. The highest office level will be 1,165 feet high on the 61st level. A total of 27 landscape terraces will be found on varying heights on the building's spine. It almost looks like a vertical farm from afar. In that way, it stands out from the rest of the monolithic structures dominating the region. While the project seems great, there is only one bad outcome. To build this 1,270-foot tower, Hotel Pennsylvania had to be razed to the ground. The demolition of this century-old hotel is almost complete. During its heyday, Hotel Pennsylvania was once one of the largest hotels in the world, with 2,200 furnished rooms. The hotels hosted top-notch celebrities and politicians of its time, like Fidel Castro and Duke Ellington. Vornado Realty Trust bought the hotel back in 1990, and in 2008 it was given the status of a landmark. After fierce and unsuccessful preservation battles, the 22-story hotel was finally demolished in July 2023. Construction of the tower is postponed as of now, and Vornado is considering using the site of fashion shows or other temporary use. The tower's construction has also been postponed in the past due to low office market rents. Undoubtedly, this has made some people angry who were against the demolition of the historic hotel. To be fair, it appears to them it was destroyed to build a commercial tower whose plan still hangs in the air. If construction goes ahead, Penn 15 would cost a whopping $1.3 billion, or even possibly more depending on how much it gets delayed. Number 5. Affirmation Tower. This tower comprises of 5 rectangular boxes that grow in size as they climb upward to its 1,663-foot mark. Given its upside-down step design, it gives the illusion that it might tip over on a windy day. Designed by award-winning architect Sir David Adage, his designs tend to incorporate bizarre shapes into a neat and sleek design. If approved, Affirmation Tower would be built on Site K, 1 block from the High Line, Hudson Yards, and New York City's No. 7 subway line. But the thing that sets it apart from others is that it would be New York's first mixed-use building developed, built, and funded by Black and female-owned businesses. The project's partners agreed that they'd give more than 30% of construction work to minority and female contractors, totaling more than $1 billion. The Affirmation Tower is expected to hire more than 30,000 New Yorkers over 6 years, including 15,000 permanent jobs, bringing in more than $5 billion in new tax revenue for the city and state over 30 years. The tower will feature almost every amenity that a modern high-rise would have. An entertainment complex, a rooftop eatery, 2 hotels, a ballroom, an observation deck, and guess what? Even a skating rink. It'll house quite a few commercial businesses, making Affirmation a destiny for hospitality, retail, and commercial businesses. Affirmation Tower was shaping up to be the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, but the architect and developer held back for one specific reason. Out of respect for the people who lost their lives in the 9/11 attacks, Affirmation Tower was made slightly shorter by spire height than One World Trade Center. Let's examine the exterior more closely. The tower goes 90 stories up with white vertical fins spanning each of the 5 boxes. Behind these fins, there's a floor-to-ceiling glass wall separating the building from the outside environment. Upon closer inspection, you'll see that the top 3 units are equipped with landscape terraces. The rooftops also enhanced by adding lush vegetation and closed by the extension of the white fins. The ice skating rink would be available in the winter months. Here, residents and non-residents can skate their way along with bonus views of the Hudson Yards. The main entrance also shows the same parallel line pattern consistent with the rest of the tower's body. It'll be positioned along 11th Avenue, while a separate entrance for the observatory will be located on the other side of the ground floor. On another side of the ground floor. The Affirmation Tower would be a $3.5 billion addition to Hudson Yards skyline. Number 6. 525th Avenue. We had purposefully left the most glamorous skyscraper for the last. 525th Avenue is also a mixed-use building under construction in Midtown Manhattan. It may not be the tallest out of all the structures that we discussed, yet it still has a decent height of 1,000 feet. The 76-story structure will span 415,000 square feet and yield 98 condominium units and commercial space spread across the ground floor and 4 cellar levels. Its design's unique from the grid window pattern seen in most tall buildings. The tower will feature arched windows repeating along the entire length of the tower. The front view sketches show landscape terraces at varying heights along the facade. The ground floor entrance plays with the same details of arch columns, and the building's address is shown embedded into the sidewalk in interlocking numerals at the foot of the main doors. The arch details of the exterior wall were inspired by the New York Public Library and Grand Central Terminal. The site of the skyscraper was formerly occupied by 3 buildings, 516 and 518 Fifth Avenue, and an office building at the 525th Avenue address. Not to mention that this tower is going to be very close neighbors with the Empire State Building and the World Trade Center to the south. The building's efficiently sized layouts will have retail and dining establishments on near and street level, offices on floors 5 to 28, and residences on floors 31 to 69. There will be no more than 4 residences per floor, and some of them will have open-air terraces. Many residents can enjoy views of Rockefeller Center, St. Patrick's Cathedral, the Chrysler Building, and the United Nations Secretariat Building. For the amenity package, there will be a swimming pool, spa, fitness center, and a restaurant. The development firm behind this project, Rabina, closed on a $540 million construction package to complete 525th Avenue. Recent photographs show the skyscraper nearing the 1/3 mark, followed closely behind by the installation of its facade. 525th Avenue's completion date is posted on the construction board for June 1, 2026. Last month, Architects Journal revealed that Foster Plus Partners is planning a massive project in Saudi Arabia, a skyscraper stretching 2 kilometers into the sky. If they pull it off, this giant would not only tower over the 828-meter Burj Khalifa, but also double the height of Saudi Arabia's previous record attempt, the Jeddah Tower. This monumental building is set to rise in the capital city of Jeddah. This announcement raises a big question. Is it really possible to build a skyscraper so tall? And if so, how would engineers and architects go about it? Let's take a creative approach to understanding the sheer magnitude of a 2-kilometer tall skyscraper. Picture Manhattan with its dense layout and towering buildings. Right in the center of it lies Central Park, a lush green oasis stretching about 4 kilometers long. Now, imagine slicing this iconic park in half, then standing that half upright. What you'd have would then resemble the staggering height of a 2-kilometer skyscraper. So tall, it would loom high above every other structure in New York's famous skyline. But there's more to think about than just height. Let's talk about the footprint of such a gigantic building. Consider 432 Park Avenue, a standout in the city for its sleek, slender design. This skyscraper has a width-to-height ratio of 1:15, making it one of the thinnest in the world. Even so, applying this ratio to a building that stretches 2 kilometers into the sky means the base would have to be enormous. In fact, it'd be so large that it wouldn't even fit on a typical New York City block, which measures about 80 by 274 meters. That puts it into perspective just how massive and frankly unrealistic such a skyscraper would be. It's fascinating to think about these architectural what-ifs, isn't it? When contemplating the design of an extraordinary skyscraper, especially one that towers to a dizzying 2 kilometers, it's crucial to start with its core. This isn't just the physical backbone that holds everything together from structural steel to electrical systems. It's also home to a vital yet often underestimated component: lift shafts. The core of a skyscraper is essentially its command center, housing critical systems like plumbing and electrical conduits alongside the all-important lift shafts. With a building reaching 2 kilometers, translating to approximately 500 stories, the challenge of moving people efficiently becomes a central concern. Imagine this building at full capacity, bustling with around 100,000 people, equivalent to a small city. The sheer volume of individuals needing to move in and out between these floors is staggering. In a typical skyscraper, lift systems are designed to maximize space while providing efficient transport. However, as the number of lifts increase, the usable space within the building diminishes. This is a significant design challenge, as every square meter taken up by lift shafts is space not available for offices, residences, or amenities, the very purposes for which the skyscraper is built. One common solution to manage the vertical commute in such tall buildings is the introduction of sky lobbies. These intermediary stopping points serve as transfer hubs where people switch from express lifts that shoot straight up from the ground level to local lifts that ferry them to specific floors. This system not only speeds up travel time, but also optimizes the use of lift shafts, allowing for a more spacious and functional design within the living and working areas. However, in the case of a 2-kilometer skyscraper, traditional sky lobbies might not suffice due to the extreme number of floors. Therefore, more innovative solutions are necessary to enhance efficiency and capacity. Enter the concept of double-decker lifts. This ingenious design stacks 2 lift cars one above the other in the same shaft. The arrangement is straightforward yet effective. Passengers heading to even-numbered floors board the lower car, while those going to odd-numbered floors use the upper one. This setup essentially doubles the capacity of each lift shaft, allowing more people to move quickly throughout the building. Double-decker lifts not only maximize the efficiency of vertical transportation, but also dramatically reduce the wait time and congestion during peak hours. Such a system can be a game-changer in the functionality of a skyscraper as colossal as the one we're envisioning. Plus, these lifts can be enhanced with smart technology. Imagine a system where passengers enter their destination floor on a touchscreen panel before boarding. The lift algorithm then calculates the most efficient route, possibly even grouping passengers by destination to reduce the number of stops. This could further streamline the flow of people and improve the overall efficiency of the building's transportation system. However, implementing such advanced lift systems in a super tall skyscraper is not without challenges. The cost of installing and maintaining such high-tech lifts is significant, and the structural implications of housing multiple double-decker lift shafts needs to be meticulously planned. The engineering behind ensuring these lifts can safely and swiftly move hundreds of people at a time up and down a building that stretches 2 kilometers in the sky is not a small feat. Okay, so that's one way of getting people up and down the core, but what could a 2-kilometer core actually look like? They must ensure the structure is not only functional, but also resilient against natural elements like wind and seismic activities. One innovative design that has proven effective for super tall buildings is the propeller-shaped or 3-pronged star floor plan. This architectural approach isn't just a stylistic choice, it's a strategic one, rooted deeply in the principles of engineering and physics. This design was first popularized by the CN Tower in Toronto, which opened back in 1976. The tower's core, shaped like a propeller, offers exceptional stability and wind resistance, making it a pioneering structure in its time. The primary advantage of this design is how it distributes the building's mass, helping it to withstand tall winds and other lateral loads. This is critical in very tall structures where wind forces can significantly impact the building's integrity and the comfort of their occupants. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai and the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia, 2 of the tallest buildings in the world, have adopted this propeller-shaped design. Both exceed 800 meters, with the Jeddah Tower projected to nearly reach a kilometer upon completion. Their cores spread out in a Y-shaped configuration, which not only aids in stabilizing the structure, but also helps in breaking up wind vortices, essentially reducing the sway that occupants might feel on higher floors. However, this design comes with its trade-offs, primarily concerning the internal space of the building. The extensive buttressing required to support such a core limits the amount of usable, occupiable space within the skyscraper. This wasn't much of an issue for the CN Tower, whose main occupied areas are concentrated at the top, primarily for observation and communication purposes. But for multi-purpose skyscrapers like the Burj Khalifa, which includes hotels, residential spaces, and offices, this limitation is a significant consideration. Despite these constraints, the propeller-shaped core remains a preferred choice for ultra-high skyscrapers. With current technology and materials, it offers the best balance between height and stability. Engineers continue to refine this design, optimizing the use of materials and space to push the boundaries of how tall buildings can go. For a skyscraper reaching 2 kilometers, such innovations in core design will not only be necessary, but will define the very feasibility of the structure. As skyscrapers push the boundaries of height, they become increasingly vulnerable to the forces of nature, particularly wind. This susceptibility is akin to the effect of applying force to the top of a small Lego tower. While pushing at the base might not move it, a push at the top can easily cause it to topple. This analogy helps illustrate the challenges engineers face when designing super tall buildings, where the higher they go, the more they must consider how wind will impact the structure. Over the years, ingenious solutions have been developed to mitigate the effects of wind on these towering structures. For instance, Teipei 101, which was the world's tallest building from 2004 to 2010, employs a tuned mass damper, or TMD. This device consists of a massive 660-ton ball suspended between the 92nd and 88th floors. In windy conditions, the TMD swings, absorbing the energy transferred to the building by the wind, thereby stabilizing it and reducing sway that could lead to discomfort or structural issues. This ingenious solution acts like a giant pendulum, working against the movements of the building to keep it steady. Another architectural marvel, the Shanghai Tower, which stretches up to 632 meters, utilizes a twisted exterior design. Not only does this provide a visually striking aesthetic, but it also plays a critical role in wind mitigation. The twist in its structure helps to deflect wind along the entire length of the tower, distributing the forces more evenly and reducing the wind's impact as it climbs higher. These strategies highlight the creativity and engineering prowess that goes into designing skyscrapers capable of withstanding nature's challenges. However, as we consider pushing the envelope further with a proposed 2-kilometer tall skyscraper, we must ask ourselves several questions. Will the current technologies be sufficient to counteract the amplified effects of wind at such extreme heights? Can these methods be scaled effectively, or will entirely new innovations be necessary? One might wonder if it's even feasible to employ a tuned mass damper of the size that would be required for such a height. How large would it need to be, and what would be the implications for the building's overall design and functionality? Similarly, could the twisting design employed by the Shanghai Tower be adapted to a much taller structure without compromising on space and other architectural elements? Moreover, while these solutions have proven effective for buildings up to 600 meters, a 2-kilometer skyscraper would introduce a whole new set of challenges. The forces acting on such a structure would be unprecedented, and the engineering solutions would need to be proportionally more robust. In exploring these possibilities, it's essential to engage in a dialogue about the limits of current architectural and engineering practices. What new materials or technologies might need to be developed to ensure the feasibility of such a project? How would the increased use of resources such as steel and concrete impact the project's environmental footprint? And importantly, how can the safety of these monumental structures be guaranteed in the face of unpredictable weather patterns and natural disasters? History shows us that architectural ambitions often stretch the limits of contemporary technology and drive innovation. From the Eiffel Tower to the Burj Khalifa, each leap in skyscraper height has brought new challenges and spurred advancements in building technology. As we discuss the prospect of a 2-kilometer skyscraper, we continue this tradition of pushing the boundaries of what's architecturally possible. Engaging with these challenges not only prepares us for the specific project at hand, but also enriches our overall understanding of structural engineering and architecture. It forces us to think critically about the balance between aspiring to build higher and the practical implications of such ambitions. As we've seen with other ambitious projects, from mountains hollowed out for scientific endeavors to giant cinematic spheres, the boundary between the fantastical and the feasible is constantly evolving. While the idea of a 2-kilometer skyscraper might seem daunting, the journey towards such a feat could unlock new doors in architectural design and engineering. The key question remains, are we ready to take the leap? And if so, how will we ensure the journey is both successful and sustainable? You probably know that the Burj Khalifa in Dubai holds the title for the world's tallest skyscraper. This massive tower reaches 828.8 meters, setting a record that nobody seems likely to beat soon. But have you heard about the second tallest building? A while back, the Shanghai Tower, standing at 632 meters, held that second place spot. But in 2023, it got bumped down to third place. The new tallest skyscraper is the Merdeka 118, located in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. At 678.9 meters, it's much shorter than the Burj Khalifa, but it's enough to take Shanghai Tower's spot. If you're into skyscrapers, keep an eye on this new giant as they wrap up construction. Here's everything you need to know. Merdeka 118, also known as Menara Warisan Merdeka, KL 118, and PNB 118, is a towering 118-story skyscraper in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. With a height of 678.9 meters, it's the second tallest building in the world, second only to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which tops out at 828 meters. The name Merdeka means independence in Malay, which ties into the building's location near the Stadium Merdeka, a historic site where Malaysia declared its independence. In December 2022, the construction of Merdeka 118 spire reached its final height, placing it 678.9 meters above ground and 700.9 meters above sea level. Merdeka 118 is the tallest building in Malaysia and all of Southeast Asia, overtaking the Exchange 106 at 453.6 meters and Landmark 81 in Vietnam at 461.2 meters. Besides its impressive height, the building has earned a triple platinum rating for sustainability, receiving accolades from global certifications like Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. The Merdeka 118 development, which covers 19 acres, is funded by Permandalan National Bharat with a budget of Rm5 billion. When completed in 2023, it became the tallest building in Malaysia. The tower, constructed in 3 phases, includes 400,000 square meters of residential, hotel, and commercial space. Merdeka 118 is a mixed-use building with office space, hotels, and retail outlets, and an observatory floor that'll be the highest observation deck in Southeast Asia. It features 2 observation decks, one inside the building and another in the spire. There's also a retail business center, the 118 Mall, and it's surrounded by 4 acres of urban and linear parks. The non-rentable space includes elevators, recreational and maintenance facilities, and parking spaces for up to 8,500 cars. 60 out of the 80 stories of office space will be reserved for Permandalan National Bharat, the project developer and its subsidiaries. The building's design caters to both business and leisure, with a variety of spaces designed for multiple purposes. The observatory deck offers breathtaking views, while the retail outlets and urban parks add to the area's appeal as a destination for both visitors and locals. Merdeka 118 is located on the Jalan Hang Jebat, where Merdeka Park once stood, which was later turned into an open-air parking lot. The spot's near several landmarks, including Petaling Street and sports venues like Merdeka Stadium, Stadium Negara, and Chinwoo Stadium. It's also close to 3 schools, the Victoria Institution, the Methodist Boys' School, and the Chinese-type Jalan Davidson Primary School. Across the Ampang line, you'll find the stalled Plaza Rakyat project. Once the Merdeka 118 development is completed, it'll have easy access to the new Merdeka MRT station on the Kajang Line SBK. It'll also have direct connections to 3 major roads through the Belfield Tunnel, a 2-story underground tunnel running beneath Kampung Atap and Jalan Maharaja Lela to the precinct's basement. These connections make the area more accessible and better integrated into Kuala Lumpur's transportation network. With all these connections and landmarks nearby, the Merdeka 118 development is set to become a central hub in Kuala Lumpur, offering a mix of commercial, residential, and leisure spaces. The easy access to public transportation and major roads should make this location convenient for commuters and visitors alike. Merdeka 118, a massive 118 skyscraper, represents a milestone in Kuala Lumpur's skyline. The tower, which stands at 678.9 meters, holds the distinction of being the second tallest building in the world and the tallest in Southeast Asia. It was designed with diamond-shaped glass facades, a nod to Malaysia's diverse culture. The building's design was inspired by Tunku Abdul Rahman's iconic gesture when he proclaimed Malaysia's independence in 1957. The visionary behind this project, Tengku Abaziz, took on the challenge of bringing this massive development to life. His approachment and attention to detail were crucial to the successful completion of Merdeka 118. Having led the project for nearly 15 years, he oversaw every aspect, from planning and design to procurement and construction. This dedication and leadership earned him the Malaysia Property Award MPA 2023 Property CEO of the Year. Merdeka 118's location is significant. It's located on the Jalan Hang Jebat, on the former side of Merdeka Park. This spot is surrounded by historical landmarks and has a direct link to transportation hubs like the newly built Merdeka MRT station on the Kajang Line. The building also connects to major roads through the Belfield Tunnel, enhancing accessibility for visitors and commuters. The structure's impact extends beyond its impressive height. It's set to feature a mix of commercial, residential, and leisure spaces, including 400,000 square meters of residential areas, office space, hotels, and retail outlets. There's even an observation deck, the highest in Southeast Asia, offering breathtaking views of Kuala Lumpur. Throughout the construction process, Tengku Abaziz and his team faced various challenges. Building such a massive tower in a historic part of the city required a careful approach, especially with nearby heritage sites like Stadium Merdeka and Stadium Negara. The tower's foundation was a complex engineering feat, with deep bore piles to support the immense weight of the structure. To ensure safety and stability, they introduced a 78-meter diameter cofferdam for deep excavation and pile installation. Despite these challenges, the team successfully completed the superstructure, implementing innovative designs and sustainable practices. Merdeka 118's cladding comprises of 18,144 panels, 114,000 square meters of glass, and 1,600 tons of window frame extrusions. The building also features 8.4 kilometers of LED light strips for nighttime illumination. The Merdeka 118 precinct is more than just a skyscraper. It includes 118 Mall, a retail business center, luxury hotels, and 2 premium residential towers. It also encompasses 4 acres of urban parks, contributing to Kuala Lumpur's green spaces. The construction of Merdeka 118, Malaysia's tallest skyscraper, involves several key players. Pintaris Geotechnics was responsible for the piling and foundation work. 6 groups were shortlisted for various construction jobs, including Samsung C&T, UEM Group, IGM Corporation, Northwest Holdings and Shimizu Corporation, Malaysian Resources Corporation and State Construction Engineering Corporation, WCD and Arab Tech Construction LLC, TSR Capital and Daewoo Group, Shikaro Group, Sino Hydro Group, and Shanghai Construction Group. These groups submitted their bids by January 28, 2015. Kone, a Finnish company, provided about 87 elevators and escalators for the project. On November 23, 2015, Permodalan National Berhad awarded a contract worth Rm 3.4 billion to a joint venture between South Korea's Samsung C&T and UEM's Group Berhad. Later, in November 2017, PNB announced plans to raise up to Rm 5 billion via Green Sukuk, the Merdeka ASEAN Green Sukuk, with a 15-year tenure. This sukuk was designed to fund the development of Merdeka 118's 83-story office space. It also demonstrated PNB's commitment to sustainability, as the project adhered to the ASEAN Green Bond standards. In 2018, Park Hyatt announced plans to open a hotel in the Merdeka 118, occupying the top 17 floors with 232 units, including 28 suites and 30 apartments. However, construction faced delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Work was halted on March 18, 2020, following Malaysia's movement control order, but resumed in mid-May 2020. Despite these setbacks, the building's concrete core topped out at 118 floors by early August 2020, surpassing the Vincom Landmark 81 as the tallest building in Southeast Asia. By October 2020, PNB President Ahmad On announced that Phases 1 and 2 were expected to be completed by the third quarter of 2022, with Phase 3 set for 2024 or 25. At that time, construction was in Phase 1, focusing on the tower. As of June 2021, the tower had reached 81% completion, with the installation of the glass facade at level 108 and the spire 50% assembled. The project had reached level 118, and the retail podium was progressing. Turner International acted as the project management consultant for this massive undertaking. Merdeka 118 officially topped out in November 2021, marking a significant milestone in its construction. The building's official inauguration took place on January 10th, when the then Yang di Pertuan Agong Al Sultan Abdullah inaugurated the skyscraper, noting that this new landmark represents the unity and diversity of Malaysia as an independent nation. Many Malaysians have voiced criticism of the Merdeka 118 project, arguing that it's an unnecessary use of public funds. With over Rm 5 billion invested, some argued that the money could have been better spent on essential areas like education and healthcare, which are facing increasing challenges in the country. In response to this criticism, former Prime Minister Najib Razak defended the project, claiming it would bring economic benefits and opportunities. The project also faced security concerns, highlighted by 2 trespassing incidents. In 2022, a viral video showed a group of American individuals trespassing at the top of Merdeka 118, sparking outrage over the lack of security. The developer emphasized that such actions are illegal and that trespassers were eventually charged under Malaysian law. Later that year, Russian roof-toppers Angela Nicolau and Ivan Burkus scaled the spire of the Merdeka 118, triggering further criticism. Malaysian police requested entry and exit records from the immigration department, but no records of the duo entering or exiting Malaysia were found, suggesting they entered the country illegally. The Home Minister confirmed a full investigation is underway to address the incident and ensure security measures are strengthened. But despite that, this building is a great achievement and a massive milestone for Malaysia, both figuratively and literally. Uncover the rich cultural symbolism, technological advancements, and human spirit that make Teipei 101 a symbol of Taiwan's unwavering pursuit of progress. Teipei 101 stands as a testament to human stability and resilience, a towering symbol of technological prowess and cultural identity. Rising 1,660 feet into the sky, it embodies the fusion of ancient values with cutting-edge engineering, propelling Taiwan into the future while anchoring its heritage firmly in the present. Designing and constructing the world's tallest skyscraper amidst the seismic and meteorological challenges of Teipei was no small feat. Teipei 101 emerged as a triumph of human achievement, a marvel of modern architecture that defies nature's fiercest forces. The journey of Teipei 101 began with a vision, a dream by developer Harris Lin since childhood. For Lin, this skyscraper represented more than just a building. It was a declaration of Taiwan's technological prowess and industrial ambition. It was a beacon illuminating Taiwan's path to global prominence, a testament to its capability not only to compete, but to lead on the world stage. As one of Taiwan's most prominent businessmen, Lin's determination propelled Teipei 101 from concept to reality, shaping its destiny as a towering icon of progress. Architect C.P. Wayne, a longtime collaborator of Lin's, played a pivotal role in shaping Teipei 101's design. Originally conceived as a centerpiece for Taipei's burgeoning Jingshan district, the building's ambitions quickly outgrew its initial scope. What began as a modest 60-story structure evolved into an 88-story titan, driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence and a desire to make history. With each floor added, Teipei 101 inched closer to its destiny as the world's tallest skyscraper, fueled by the collective determination of its creators. Standing at 1,667 feet, it comprises 101 floors above ground and 5 basement levels. The tower employs a tuned mass dumper, a 660-ton pendulum that counters swaying caused by strong winds, reducing building movement by up to 40%. Teipei 101 is built to withstand earthquakes with a seismic design that can absorb ground motion, ensuring safety during seismic events. It incorporates sustainable design elements, earning LEED Platinum certification with energy-saving features like double-pane windows and efficient HVAC systems. Its elevators are among the world's fastest, reaching speeds of 37.7 miles per hour, transporting visitors from ground to observation decks in just 37 seconds. At the heart of Teipei 101's foundation lies a sophisticated network of reinforced concrete piles, meticulously engineered to distribute the building's colossal weight evenly and anchor it firmly to the bedrock below. A massive concrete slab spanning 23,000 cubic meters rests atop this intricate foundation system, effectively fusing the building to the earth beneath. This formidable foundation, coupled with Teipei 101's mega frame and damping system, endows the structure with an unparalleled earthquake safety rating, surpassing even that of Taiwan's nuclear power plants. The construction of Teipei 101 heralded a new era in steel manufacturing, as engineers sought to develop alloys that were not only robust enough to support the building's weight, but also flexible enough to withstand seismic forces. At the forefront of this endeavor was the Gaoyang plant, employing state-of-the-art techniques to produce steel components tailored to Teipei 101's unique requirements. The complex interplay of carbon, alloy, and refined iron yielded 5 distinct types of steel, each meticulously crafted to fulfill specific roles within the skyscraper's framework. The assembly of Teipei 101's super columns presented a monumental task, requiring the seamless integration of massive steel components weighing up to 90 tons each. Ordinary welding techniques proved inadequate for this endeavor, necessitating the adoption of advanced welding techniques to ensure the structural integrity of the building. Teams of skilled welders worked tirelessly, meticulously crafting each joint to perfection, a process spanning over years and underscoring the meticulous attention to detail that defined Teipei 101's construction. At the heart of Taipei 101's resilience lies its unique structural design, engineered to flex and sway in response to seismic and wind forces. The building's core is anchored by 8 super columns, fortified with a blend of steel and concrete, while a massive tuned mass damper counteracts the effects of wind-induced oscillations. This groundbreaking approach to structural design pushed the boundaries of engineering, setting a new standard for skyscraper construction. Taipei 101's resilience isn't solely derived from its structural integrity, it's also rooted in its cultural symbolism and aesthetic significance. Drawing inspiration from traditional Chinese motifs, the building's design incorporates elements of strength, serenity, and prosperity. From the graceful curvature of its exterior to the symbolic use of bamboo and pagoda motifs, Taipei 101 stands as a testament to Taiwan's rich cultural heritage and enduring resilience. Taipei 101 remains acutely aware of the ever-present threat that's posed by nature's wrath. Taiwan's seismic vulnerability, compounded by the onslaught of typhoons, poses an ongoing challenge to the building's longevity. Each year, the island nation faces the relentless fury of nature, testing Taipei 101's fortitude against the forces of earthquakes and wind. To confront these challenges, Taipei 101's designers turned to advanced simulation techniques and rigorous testing protocols. From the precise placement of seismic isolators to the strategic use of aerodynamic features, every aspect of Taipei 101's design was meticulously crafted to withstand nature's onslaught. Taipei 101 remains a testament to the human spirit, a towering monument to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. From its humble beginnings as a childhood dream to its realization as the world's tallest skyscraper, Taipei 101 embodies the indomitable spirit of Taiwan, a nation unyielding in its pursuit of progress and prosperity. As Taipei 101 reaches ever skyward, it serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration, a symbol of Taiwan's unwavering dedication to defy the odds and reach new heights of greatness. In a world fraught with uncertainty, Taipei 101 stands as a testament to the power of human ingenuity, reminding us that even in the face of nature's fiercest forces, the human spirit will always prevail. Crafted by brilliant engineers, this skyscraper embodies a fusion of meticulous planning. The cornerstone of Taipei 101's structural stability lies in its innovative use of a passive damping system, specifically the tuned mass damper, ingeniously designed to counteract the building's sway induced by wind forces. As Taipei 101 sways in one direction, the massive tuned mass damper hanging from an upper floor swings in the opposite direction, effectively mitigating the buildup of energy and reducing the building's motion. This engineering feat not only ensures the structural integrity of Taipei 101, but also underscores its adaptability to withstand both typhoons and earthquakes. The realization of such ambitious designs necessitates more than just conceptual brilliance. It demands meticulous attention to foundational elements. In the case of Taipei 101, locating stable ground amidst the geological complexities of Taipei's basin posed a formidable challenge. Over centuries, changing sea levels and deposited layers of soft, unstable silt and clay, requiring geotechnical engineers to delve deep, sometimes up to 196 feet, to reach solid bedrock. Extensive soil analysis and meticulous planning paved the way for the development of detailed foundation structures, a process spanning over months and involving the removal of staggering amounts of earth from the site. The completion of Taipei 101 marked not just the culmination of a monumental construction project, but the beginning of a new chapter in its life cycle. As thousands flocked to its halls daily, transforming it into a bustling metropolis vertical, the skyscraper's operational intricacies came to the fore. From stringent security protocols to sophisticated energy management systems, every aspect of Taipei 101's operation was meticulously monitored and controlled, underscoring its status as a pinnacle of modern engineering. Beyond its title as the world's tallest building, Taipei 101 embodies the spirit of innovation and resilience, serving as a beacon of hope for future generations and a symbol of Taiwan's unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. With the unveiling of Saudi Arabia's 2030 vision, the country's rolling up its sleeves for some serious renovation. In 2011, flash floods destroyed 90% of roads and 27,000 buildings in Jeddah. Combined with Saudi's population quadrupling over the past 4 decades, there's a serious demand for housing all over the country, with officials estimating that 900 homes are needed a day to meet the demand. But that's just a micro issue here. The Arabian Peninsula has largely made its income from oil, like its regional competitor UAE, which diversified its revenue from oil to other portfolios like tourism. It's time for Saudi Arabia to do the same. And it's doing just that, with larger-than-life products like Kiria, Neom, Red Sea, Amala, and much more. The country is aiming to be the business and tourist hub of the world. To achieve this, Saudi Arabia will be spending a staggering amount of $400 billion on infrastructure over the next few years. To symbolize this revolution and growth, it's building the tallest skyscraper in the world, the Jeddah Tower. This technically means that the Burj Khalifa will no longer be the tallest skyscraper, a position it has held for 14 years. The Jeddah Tower is widely reported to have a height of 1 kilometer, 180 meters more than Burj Khalifa. After 5 years of inactivity, construction on this mega project has resumed on September 2023. So, why was this project abandoned in the first place, and why is it being resumed now? What's changed? Let's get back to the topic. Interestingly, the Jeddah Tower was originally supposed to be 1 mile high. However, when the soil of the proposed site was tested, there were doubts about whether it could support such a length. Consequently, the project was scaled down by 500 meters. Construction began in April of 2013, and the piling work was completed by the end of that year. The designer behind the Jeddah Tower is Adrian Smith, who also designed the Burj Khalifa and is now set to break his own record. He won the gig in 2010 during a competition between 8 leading architectural firms from around the world. Smith's portfolio boasts 4 of the tallest buildings in the world, including Trump Tower in Chicago, Jinmao Tower, and Pearl River Tower, both of which are in China. Adrian's design for the Jeddah Tower is intended to look like a desert plant shooting upwards, symbolic of Saudi Arabia's growth. The company behind the Jeddah Tower, Kingdom Holding, is headed by the Saudi prince Al-Walid bin Talal, who owns 33% of the tower. In 2011, Kingdom Holding awarded a $1.23 billion contract to the local company. Bin Laden is the main construction contractor. This cost is surprisingly lower than that of Burj Khalifa, which cost around $1.5 billion. So how can a building that's taller than Burj Khalifa cost less? Labor costs in Saudi Arabia are cheaper, and construction costs have also declined after the global financial crisis of 2007-2008. Moreover, 3 shifts will work round the clock to expedite the process. With this speed, the tower was hoped to be open by 2020, but that wasn't the case. Trouble started in 2017 when the owner of Kingdom Holding, Al-Walid, and the chairman of the Bin Laden Group were arrested. This was due to a massive crackdown initiated by the government that resulted in the widespread arrests of princes, ministers, and businessmen. Their arrest didn't completely stop the construction, and by the end of 2017, 60 floors of the tower were complete, with the overall height reaching 827 feet. In 2018, structural work was officially halted due to labor issues with a contractor. It also didn't help that the COVID-19 pandemic started just a year afterward, leaving only a third of the tower complete. However, after a 5-year pause, the project's back on its feet, with major media outlets reporting the news. Due to issues with the previous contractor, a new construction company is required to complete the 1-kilometer-tall tower. 14 construction teams from the Middle East, Europe, and China have been given 3 months to prepare their bids. So hopefully a contract will be selected by the end of the year. Let's talk about the features of this ambitious project. The Jeddah Tower is literally and metaphorically the centerpiece of a much larger project, the Jeddah Economic City. The tower will occupy a 120-acre area along with surrounding buildings. Jeddah Tower, being a multi-use faculty, will host a 4 Seasons hotel, rental apartments, office spaces, and luxury condominiums. It's important to note that, like all skyscrapers, the very top of the tower is uninhabitable and is only there to increase its length. Hence, all floors above 167 are made of steel and only contribute to an empty spire. Given the tower's extreme height, it'll also have the highest observation deck in the world. The 57-acre area around the tower will feature public spaces, including shopping malls, residential units, restaurants, cafes, public parks, and much more. But that's not the best part yet. The city will also feature a man-made waterfront over 970,000 square feet, surrounded by pedestrian walkways, amphitheater, shops, and much more. One other reason for building a skyscraper, other than it being a tourist attraction, is that it greatly increases the value of the economic surroundings. Talal Al-Maiman, a board member of the Jeddah Economic Company said Jeddah Tower will be a landmark structure that'll greatly increase the value of hundreds of other properties around its Jeddah economic city and throughout North Jeddah. This concept is demonstrated with Burj Khalifa, where its surrounding malls and hotels made the most revenue, while Burj Khalifa made little or no profit. Although there's no official number stated, it's claimed that the Jeddah Tower will have 200 floors. The observation deck or sky terrace will be built on the 157th floor, giving a commanding view of the city and the Red Sea. At a height of 2,100 feet, it would have a diameter of around 500 square feet. For comparison, the tallest observatory deck is in Shanghai Tower, sitting at a height of 2,073 feet on the 118th floor. But building the tallest skyscraper in the world isn't a piece of cake, and while you can draw what you want on paper, in reality, you can't ignore the laws of physics. So, for a tower like Jeddah aiming to be the highest in the world, the primary focus for the engineers is stability. Computer modeling programs indicated that the most stable foundation would be triangular-shaped. This gives the tower a Y-shaped structure, while its exterior would be made entirely of glass. The foundation is around 15 feet, and the weight of the building is expected to be 900,000 tons. As the bedrock of the proposed location was soft, a metal framework would be used to support the building. 18 million cubic feet of concrete and 80,000 tons of steel would be used to install piles 660 feet deep. The next problem is the wind pressure. To solve this, the facade structure is made smooth and sloped. This form gives better aerodynamic performance than the step design found in Burj Khalifa. The wind pressure gets stronger as you go up. High-strength concrete would be used to construct the core to prevent the tower from swaying on windy days. Mobility in a tall skyscraper is another critical aspect of the design. For this purpose, the Jeddah Tower will use 12 escalators and 59 elevators, 5 of them being double-decked. These custom elevators will run at a top speed of 22 miles an hour to transport passengers quickly, as there are several floors in the building. They can't run at a faster speed, as the rapid change in air pressure would cause nausea to its passengers. Moreover, no elevator would go from the ground to the top floor, so people living on the top floors would have to exchange their elevator on an intermediate floor known as the sky lobby. There will be a total of 3 sky lobbies so that no elevator gets overburdened. The Jeddah Tower also offers residential space for those willing to immerse themselves in a lavish experience. There would be 500 well-planned units divided into 4 tiers. Tier 1 and 2 apartments have lesser facilities relative to Tier 3 and 4, which are located at higher floors, offering a spectacular view of the city. Residents of the 4th tier will have access to a private entrance as well. But that's not all. As Saudi Arabia is targeting entrepreneurs, investors, and tourists from all over the world, the Jeddah Tower will serve as their mainstay. With plans for expanding the new King Abdulaziz International Airport for a whopping $31 billion, the airport would have a capacity of 114 million passengers annually. This will turn Jeddah into the business and commercial that it's always wanted to be. To accommodate the influx of foreign travelers, the Jeddah Tower is partnered with a Four Seasons hotel. The hotel consists of 200 rooms and 121 luxury apartments, along with executive meeting rooms, shopping stores, halls for hosting events, and top-notch restaurants. Regarding the completion, there's no official date mentioned on their website, so one can expect the project to be operational by the end of this decade. While this is great news for many, critics believe that the obsession with competing for the tallest skyscrapers should end, especially as the towers mostly catered toward the Arab elite and rich foreigners. Opponents believe that this money should rather be spent on education and research, as the Arab countries are suffering from poor education levels. With Dubai at risk of losing the title of the tallest skyscraper in a matter of a few years, they're adding another tower to their list, Dubai Creek Tower. While the tower won't be taller than the Jeddah Tower or even Burj Khalifa, it does show the UAE's desperation to stay on top of the game. Will the Jeddah Tower be a full stop for the skyscraper industry? Of course not. It's possible that a new country is already planning to build the next tallest structure, just like Saudi Arabia did. But the question is, how tall can we build? Experts believe that a 6,500-foot structure almost twice the height of the Jeddah Tower is possible, but won't be practical. It's because after a certain height, a skyscraper is no longer habitable and only hosts support machinery. However, even if a 6,500-footer was practically and economically feasible, very few countries would dare to step into this venture given the astronomical resources required to build such a giant. The tallest building in the US is coming, and it's expected to reach a staggering height. A new skyscraper is set to take the title of the tallest building in the US, and it's not the usual suspects like NYC, Chicago, or LA. Instead, this record-breaking tower will rise in Oklahoma City, right in the heartland of America. Named the Boardwalk at Bricktown, the tower, designed by Office AO and developed by Madison Capital, will stand at an astonishing 1,907 feet. This height surpasses the current tallest building, One World Trade Center in New York City, by about 200 feet. In January, the Oklahoma City Council approved a modification request from the developers to increase the tower's height from the initially approved 1,750 feet, but now it'll be 1,907 feet. This approval not only makes it the tallest building in the U.S., but also the 6th tallest in the world. The base will have open plazas and space for retail and dining. Above that, 4 towers will rise. 3 will be 345 feet tall, while the 4th, Legend Tower, reaches 1,907 feet. This height honors the year Oklahoma became the 46th state in 1907. The building will include a hotel, 1,776 residential units, and 110,000 square feet for dining, retail, and entertainment. If built as planned, it'll be the 18th building to become the tallest in the U.S. It'll be the first in Oklahoma and one of the few outside New York City. Before One World Trade Center held the record, the Willis, formerly Sears Tower in Chicago, was the tallest. How does it compare to other skyscrapers in the U.S.? Well, if all goes well, this new skyscraper will dethrone One World Trade Center in New York. In the heart of Lower Manhattan, the One World Trade Center, also known as the Freedom Tower, stands tall as a symbol of resilience, solidarity, and hope. It reaches a height of 1,776 feet, honoring the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. Finished in 2014, it stands on the site of the original World Trade Center, which was tragically destroyed in the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Designed by David Childs of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, One World Trade Center is a masterpiece of both architecture and symbolism. Its modern glass exterior, topped by a spire, is a testament to the American spirit. Besides its symbolic value, it offers amazing views of the Manhattan skyline, cutting-edge office space, and top-notch amenities. Its observatory, located on the 100th, 101st, and 102nd floors, provides visitors with stunning views over New York City, serving as a poignant reminder of the city's enduring strength and vitality. Next in line is Central Park Tower, rising majestically over New York's skyline. The residential tower, located in Manhattan next to Central Park, symbolizes modern architecture and luxury living. At 1,550 feet, it's the highest residential skyscraper in the world and the 2nd tallest structure in the U.S. Designed by Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill Architecture, its sleek glass facade blends seamlessly with the cityscape. Inside the Central Park Tower, you get luxurious condominiums with spacious floor plans and exclusive features like a fitness center, a pool, and a private club. But the real highlight is its stunning views. Residents can enjoy expansive views of Central Park, the Manhattan skyline, and beyond, providing an idyllic escape from the city's hustle and bustle. An iconic symbol of Chicago's skyline, the Willis Tower, offers evidence of both metropolitan significance and creative architecture. Completed in 1973 as the Sears Tower, it held the title of the world's tallest building for over a quarter century. Designed by Bruce Graham of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, this 1,450-foot tall structure, with its bundled tube architecture and striking black exterior, is a lasting representation of Chicago's architectural legacy and thriving economy. The Willis Tower offers a wide range of facilities and attractions in addition to its striking size. The famous glass-bottom ledge offers thrill-seekers an exhilarating experience, while the building's 103rd floor skydeck offers tourists unmatched panoramic views of the city and its surroundings. It's also a center of business, with a large number of offices, shops, and restaurants housed inside its walls. It serves as a hub for business, tourism, and cultural activities due to its strategic position in Chicago's thriving Loop neighborhood. In the heart of Manhattan, New York City, stands 111 West 57th Street, known as the Steinway Tower. This remarkable skyscraper at 1,428 feet is one of the world's tallest and slimmest structures, transforming the city's skyline with its unique design. Designed by Shop Architects in partnership with JDS Development Group and Property Markets Group, the tower combines modern sophistication with historic charm. Its slender design features state-of-the-art engineering and technology, paying homage to New York's pre-war towers. The tower's terracotta and bronze facade radiates a timeless beauty, reflecting the sky's changing colors. Inside, luxurious living areas offer expansive views of Central Park and the Manhattan skyline. Residents enjoy a range of facilities, including a private fitness center, pool, lounge spaces, and concierge services, ensuring unmatched luxury and convenience. Another towering masterpiece in New York is One Vanderbilt, next to the Grand Central Terminal in Midtown Manhattan. Rising to 1,401 feet, this skyscraper is a bold example of contemporary architecture and sustainable development. Built by Kohn Pedersen Fox Associates, One Vanderbilt features a sleek glass facade and a unique crown, making a dramatic statement while blending with its surrounding cityscape. The tower's eco-friendly features and state-of-the-art design have earned it a LEED Platinum certification, showcasing its dedication to sustainability. Inside, One Vanderbilt offers Class A office space, retail stores, and restaurants, making it a hub of activity and a magnet for business, travel, and cultural discovery. The upper-floor Skyline Observatory provides visitors with breathtaking views of the city, offering a unique perspective on New York's landmarks and bustling streets. Rising above the Manhattan skyline, 432 Park Avenue is a stunning work of architectural art with streamlined and elegant style. This residential tower redefines luxury living in the heart of New York City, soaring to an impressive height of 1,396 feet. Designed by Raphael Vinoli Architects, 432 Park Avenue stands out with its square footprint and tall vertical lines, giving it a minimalistic look. Among the high residential structures in the Western Hemisphere, its sleek concrete and glass facade reaches remarkable heights. Inside, spacious, well-designed living areas welcome residents, offering expansive views of the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame iconic landmarks like Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the Statue of Liberty, providing an immersive experience. The tower also offers a range of amenities, including a private restaurant, fitness center, spa, and pool, ensuring residents enjoy the pinnacle of contemporary urban life. Above Chicago's renowned skyline, the Trump International Hotel and Tower stands as a testament to the city's architectural brilliance, luxury, and beauty. Designed by renowned architect Adrian Smith of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, this landmark skyscraper reaches a height of 1,389 feet, making it one of the tallest buildings in the United States. Situated along the picturesque Chicago River, the Trump Tower features a sleek glass facade and prominent setbacks, creating a striking visual presence. The shimmering exterior reflects the changing colors of the sky, creating a breathtaking display day or night. Inside, the Trump Tower offers a top-notch hotel experience with luxurious rooms, modern conveniences, elegant furnishings, and stunning views of the city and Lake Michigan. The hotel's renowned restaurants, lounges, and spa enhance the experience for visitors, offering a sanctuary of luxury and leisure in the middle of a bustling city. Its prime downtown location provides easy access to Chicago's main attractions, including Millennium Park, the Magnificent Mile, and the Art Institute of Chicago, making it the perfect destination for both business and leisure travelers. Next up is Hudson Yards, a striking addition to New York City's skyline and a symbol of modernism and creativity. Standing at 1,296 feet, the skyscraper is one of the tallest buildings in the United States and is part of the vibrant Hudson Yards development on Manhattan's west side. Designed by Kohn Pedersen Fox Associates, 30 Hudson Yards features a sleek glass-clad facade that blends perfectly with the urban environments, offering expansive views of the Hudson River and the Manhattan skyline. Inside, the tower hosts a mix of retail stores, restaurants, office spaces, and cultural attractions, catering to the needs of both residents and visitors. Its strategic location in Hudson Yards makes it a bustling hub of activity, drawing people all over the world. The building is also home to the tallest outdoor skydeck in the Western Hemisphere, Edge on the 100th floor. This thrilling platform with a glass floor offers unobstructed views of New York City, providing an unforgettable experience. Another iconic landmark is the Empire State Building, a timeless symbol of New York City's skyline. Completed in 1931 during the Great Depression, it reached a then record height of 1,454 feet, making it the tallest building in the world at that time. Designed by Shreve, Lamb, and Harmon, The Empire State Building features a dramatic limestone facade and a sleek, tapered form that defines its unique modern Art Deco design. Its famous spire, often illuminated with vibrant lights on significant occasions, inspires millions worldwide. The Empire State Building houses office spaces, shops, and observation decks, including the well-known 86th floor observation deck, which offers stunning panoramic views of New York City and beyond. The building attracts visitors from around the globe with its exhibitions and events, celebrating its rich history and cultural significance. Throughout its illustrious history, the Empire State Building has stood as a testament to the resilience, fortitude, and unwavering spirit of New York City, remaining a source of wonder and appreciation for its lasting heritage as a center of ambition, culture, and innovation. Finally, the Bank of America Tower in Midtown Manhattan is a magnificent example of environmentally friendly building practices and corporate social responsibility. Standing at 1,200 feet, it's one of the city's tallest structures, completed in 2009. Designed by Cook Fox Architects in association with Adamson Associates, the tower features a sleek contemporary design that incorporates cutting-edge sustainable technology. Its glass curtain wall facade optimizes natural light while minimizing energy use, earning it LEED Platinum certification, the highest standard for environmental performance. Inside, the Bank of America Tower offers modern retail stores, office spaces, and facilities aimed at boosting tenant productivity and well-being. Every aspect of the building, from its rainwater collection and recycling facilities to its high-efficiency HVAC systems, is designed to reduce environmental impact. The tower's operations and activities also reflect a commitment to sustainability and community involvement, supporting local charities and promoting diversity and well-being amongst its staff. The Bank of America Tower stands as a living example of social and environmental responsibility in the heart of New York City. We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more visionary builds.